No, the funny thing was, you had Israelis like Perlman, you have Chinese,
but they're all American.
Yeah, and then a Venezuelan
pianist,
and then from New York, African American. Yeah, which was interesting because that's a nice melting pot.
Isn't that the point of?
Yeah, it's a nice melting pot.
I mean, that's what the U.S. is, though. It's a melting pot.
Yeah,
it has been for centuries and continues to be.
Right. So it was interesting.
So it's another culmination. So that was the situation this week at the inauguration in terms of classical music. The rest of it was not classical music, although on Sunday they did do that concert and Renee Fleming sang, but I'm not sure what she sang.
Where?
You know,
at the
that
Lincoln Memorial?
Yeah, that free thing she sang. And
okay, did you read they had recorded some of the
music for that too.
Yeah,
so they're making a big ruckus about the quartet thing, but then that live concert.
A band could play outside, except that it was too cold.
So
again.
They used rubber mouthpieces in the freezing cold when they march.
Is that right? I didn't know that.
I heard that. So that their lips
makes sense, right?
Don't
lips get stuck on the horrible. Wow.
Yeah, you'd be in pretty big trouble. So they did use recording for that too, but the classical component on that Sunday concert was Renee Fleming, although I think the point of most of those pieces were Americana stuff. Although they did Pete Seeger, "This Land Is Your Land."
That's American.
North folk American.
Yeah.
So that was the situation with the inauguration with classical music. Now we're off to see the opera, Orfeo.
We're off to see the Wizard.
Yeah, so Orfeo is actually an interesting opera because it is the first opera was Orfeo in 1600, which is Jacopo Peri, I think his name was, the composer. If you had to take opera history classes like I've had to take, you would know that.
No,
but anyways, the first theme that they used for the first opera, official first opera, was Orfeo. So, and Gluck wanted to do something a little different with his opera because he was sick of all the music being subservient to the singers, which at that time was the castrati singers. And even though he used a castrati for the Orfeo role, but now today it's a pants role with a mezzo, contralto mezzo, Stephanie Blythe singing. At that time, he wanted to try to have the singing come from the drama of the situation and stuff. So his Orfeo is not like some of those old Orfeos, even in the 24 Italian songs and arias that every singer has to study from, and they have a couple of old Orfeo arias in that book and in some other books. You'll see all the florid, all that crazy florid stuff, which is only from the singer's viewpoint instead of from the drama. So in Gluck, he tried to bring it from the dramatic aspect so that the singing sprang out of that. So that will be interesting to see today. Yes. And Katie and I did that Orfeo in our Evening of Death.
Oh, yes,
Mary.
right. Absolutely.
Which is a great piece to do because it fits very much with that theme of death and re-death. And the hilarious part of it, though, is that in the text, I always get a kick out of it. So Orfeo turns around and he looks at Eurydice and she dies. And in the thing it says, "Oh, she dies again," and it's just kind of a silly sort of text because she died again.
Okay.
So, anyways, we will see what the Met production has in store for us today, and then we will come back and discuss that a little bit later. So, hang on.
I think you can push